that it? Okay. And I think I have a couple of comments, Mr. Mazurek. It kind of goes along with that, and it kind of goes along with what the board has been doing. And I agree with Commissioner Russell. I think one of the best aspects of Amendment 1 is the portability opportunity to save people money and make it a little more equitable when you move into another neighborhood or take whatever it is you sold and move to another house, whether it's your upsizing or downsizing. But I think that's one, to me, it was one of the most likable aspects of that particular amendment. But one of the things that I think is important, and then some of the people have touched on, is one of the ways that we can reduce the overall tax burden is through diversification. And beyond the millage rate reductions, which over the last 3 years amounted to about a little over 2 mills and a savings to the taxpayers of about $45.1 million, which I think is relatively significant. One of the things that I know I focused on since 2004 and even beyond that was the diversification. And I asked Mike McHugh, our economic development director, for a little rundown on that, because I guess sometimes people don't think that we do enough for diversification. But I took a look at some of the Department of Revenue breakdown by DOR code, and it's pretty telling that if you take a look at what the value was of the commercial Department of Revenue codes in 2004, for example, between 2003 and 2004, there's a jump of $200 million in value, and then it goes again in 2005 by $200 million, and then between 05 and 06, $640 million, and then again between 06 and 07, $200 million. So if you were to just take just the last 4 years, for example, the commercial improvements, I guess that's what you would call those things, amount to about $1.2 billion. So as we move through this, budget and the opportunities to diversify and reduce the budget, I think that it needs to be recognized that there are areas in our community that are growing and growing rapidly and are being sustained partially by what the board does and what Mike does, and obviously what you do out there in your role as the property appraiser. I think those are all good things that are occurring and sometimes aren't being seen in the light that they really are. I guess that's more of a statement than anything else.
I was wondering where the question was.
It wasn't a question, and I prefaced it by saying this is really going to be a statement, but I think it's important that people understand that we need to get away from this total residential based budgetary sort of system that we have and diversify, and the way you do that is by increasing the commercial opportunities. And I think this board and even beyond that a certain degree have really made huge strides in taking care of that particular aspect of our economy, in spite of the semi turn down in the housing.